welcome back to another episode of our Not So Simple Lives podcast. And today we are coming to you with our final end of the year episode. We love these. It's our final one for the year. But first and foremost, Merry Christmas and
Merry
Happy New Year.
Christmas.
Have a wonderful and safe New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Set those goals, set those intentions for 2026. We'll be doing that next week. So tune into that. But let's get into our episode because we did 2025 movie of the year. This is like our big one. Like, I don't know, like this personally, I think it's because we're such movie lovers. Like, this is my favorite one.
Yeah, I think because we
Because-
talk about going to see like certain movies like all year, like when certain movies come out, and we like tell you guys like we're gonna see this movie or we did see that movie, and sometimes we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Rather than some of the other categories. So yeah, let's dive into
let's
it.
dive into it. So this one was so controversial. I really thought we were gonna have a repeat of last year. Like when we were doing this, when we did our 2025 Artist of the Year and Sabrina Carpenter won, I was like, because 2024, Sabrina Carpenter won Artist of the Year and Wicked won Movie of the Year. So I was thinking this was literally going to be a carbon copy of last year, like Sabrina Carpenter and Wicked Part 2 won. You know what I'm
Can
saying?
we just say like, the finale of this, the win
Yeah.
is so like recency bias.
Well, what
because-
won? You say it. You announce it.
So it was Zootopia 2 versus Wicked for Good.
Yeah.
And those two movies literally just came out, like almost kind of like back to back.
And Zootopia 2 won.
And Zootopia 2 won.
Won 2025 Movie of the Year. What the actual fuck? So we did, I'm sorry to like backtrack here,
No,
but
you're
we
fine.
did in August. I kind of like that we did this. We like took a look at like the top grossing movies of the year as of August.
Mhm.
And I don't think if you would have told us that Zootopia 2 was going to win Movie of the Year back then, I think we would have been like, no.
No.
Because Moana 2 last year came out and it was a little disappointing. I liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. So I thought it was going to be the same sort of thing with like Zootopia 2, where like
I
people
thought-
hadn't really seen it yet, you know.
Like, I thought it was okay, but like the first one I think is far more superior. I think I just found myself a little bored in Moana 2.
But Zootopia 2, we saw it in theaters together.
it was honestly
it was
really
so
good.
good. It
was so
kept you
good.
captivated the entire time. It was like almost kind of a little bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
And there were like a lot of twists and turns. There was a lot going on. I was like, what? I just feel like came out of that movie and I was like, that was so freaking good. But maybe it was because of, let's talk about expectations.
Mhm.
Because Zootopia 2, arguably my expectations and a lot of people's expectations were very low.
Yeah. I
Wicked
agree.
for Good, everyone's expectations were very high. So if we went into both movies with high expectations, maybe it would have been about the same. But I think Wicked for Good kind of underperformed in terms of our expectations of what it was going to be. And Zootopia 2, because we had such a low expectations, it really exceeded those expectations.
Yeah.
So that's probably why.
But I mean, like, I think with Zootopia, like, it's, just even the first one is a very underrated movie.
I agree.
And it was really good. I didn't see it till, like, years later after it had come out. Like, I just didn't have, like, the urge to want to watch it. I think I ended up watching it just, like, randomly because I was told that I should.
I love
And so-
Zootopia.
And
The
so
first
I
one was
watched
so
it
good.
and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. And I watched it again before seeing Zootopia 2 because I was like, let me refresh my memory because I only had seen it really once before. So I'm like, okay, I don't really remember what this movie's about. So I watched it again. I was like, I'm like still really solid. And then we saw the second one. I thought it was so good for a
Yeah.
sequel. I
Right.
guess if they were like, if we're gonna make a sequel of this, like we need to exceed expectations and more. And I
Right.
think Zootopia 2 did deserve like a top spot in this face off because of how good it was, especially for an animation movie. Like if you're an adult and you haven't seen this movie yet, Like, you honestly should, because it
Yeah.
is so good. There was, like, kind of some weird, like, adult jokes in this movie
There always
too.
are. They always throw them in and you're just like, "Oh,
I think I was
interesting."
kind of surprised because I caught, like, a lot of them, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's kind of, like, bad," but it was,
I
like,
can't
funny.
even really remember, but I remember like the main like plot lines of the movie, but I can't remember like the small details.
Right.
But let's look at Zootopia 2's run to the finals and run to the
Yes.
winnings. So first round it went against Snow White, which
Mm,
Snow White was I think the most controversial movie of the year
yes.
because of it had so much negative publicity around it from Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler
Mhm.
for different reasons. There was a lot going on there, and so it was set up to fail.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was another example of expectations. When I watched that movie, I watched it on the plane one time when I was going to like Colorado, and I watched it on the plane. I was like, wait, this is actually pretty good. Because everyone was like panning it, worst movie of the year, whatever, so bad.
Like,
And I watched it and I was like, this was actually pretty good. Like, it wasn't terrible.
there was a lot of mixed reviews,
Yeah.
but there was a lot more so negative reviews rather than positive. And so I was just even myself like a little confused. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it when it comes out on streaming. I'm gonna see for myself. I'm like, because I can't believe everyone on the internet. You can't believe it, like
No.
everyone on the internet, because there's just like way too much chatter. And it's like the only way you're gonna know is if you see it for yourself.
Well, and that's the thing about opinions is
Yeah,
everything's subjective.
exactly.
I might love something, you might hate it. So it's like you can't go off someone else's opinion, you know?
Yeah, and I thought Snow White was pretty good. Like, I honestly, I didn't know where all the negativity was coming from. Like, I thought the storyline was pretty decent.
Yeah.
The only thing I just didn't love about it was Gal Gadot as the evil queen.
I thought she had really good moments and really bad moments.
I feel
I
like
thought there were certain moments in the movie where I was like, okay, she ate that. She ate that up. And there were other moments where I was like, oh, her delivery was a little questionable. But I just don't think she's good at playing a villain. I see her as like Wonder Woman. You know,
I think playing an iconic villain like the evil queen, I feel like there could have been a lot more opportunity for casting when it comes to the evil queen, that I feel like a lot of maybe other really good actresses could have, you know, been a bit better than her.
well, I think that
And
Disney's
I
been
think Gal Gadot is
yeah.
a great actress, especially as like Wonder Woman and whatnot. Like, I've seen her mostly as Wonder Woman, and she's
Mm,
really good.
I love her as Wonder Woman.
And so it's just kind of a shame that, you know, that role specifically kind of made her acting not seem as good. And like, I'm gonna be so honest, and I'm sorry if people take this the wrong way, but I feel like her accent just didn't help for that role either. It just,
Mhm.
I don't know if it affected her acting in a way, but
Right.
um in the singing, that was not it either. And like,
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa. I was
And
like,
she's not like known for singing. Well, that's the thing is like Disney's been doing like unorthodox castings for iconic villains. Because Melissa McCarthy for Ursula too, I thought that was a little bit questionable. There's certain moments where like they'll cast someone and you're like, this is questionable. Like Robert Pattinson for Batman, everyone was like, oh, is he gonna be good? I don't know. And he killed it.
well,
But then
even
other times you're like, this is questionable, and then you watch it and you're like, yeah, like not the best, you know?
well, even like Emma Stone
For
being
Cruella,
for Cruella,
she
when
slayed.
when we saw that casting though, we're like, oh, I don't know about that, but she
Yeah,
freaking killed it. She
she
did
did.
amazing. I think they're making another one.
That's what they said, but I mean, it's been like almost 5 years since the
It's
first
been a
one came
minute,
out. So I'm like, I
but
don't know. But the Batman, same thing. They're supposedly doing a sequel, but
they are. I think they are, but I don't know why it's taking forever. But I think he's been in quite a few things that I think has conflicted the Batman schedule.
yeah, we'll talk about movies that are coming out in 2026 at the end of this because
Well,
there's a
yeah.
lot that I'm excited about.
We're
But
talking. We're getting ahead
we're
of
getting a little
ourselves.
sidetracked. So Zootopia 2 beat Snow White. I think it was by 100%, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Then it went against Jurassic World Rebirth, which, to be honest, it's so funny because at work, like a lot of my coworkers were talking, and I were talking about the Face Off.
Mm-hmm.
And not just my coworkers, but like a lot of my friends too. We were talking back and forth, and they're like, damn, like your Face Off has made me realize I've not seen any movies this year. So my one coworker was like,
Uh-huh.
I literally have only seen Jurassic World Rebirth. So she was
Out
just
of
voting
all
for that for out of
out of
all of
all the
these.
movies, see,
Yeah.
that wasn't my favorite movie like at all this
It
year.
wasn't, and it was really disappointing because I love the Jurassic World series,
Hmm.
but that one just wasn't it. I kind of was confused as to why they were revamping the series after it had just they just concluded a trilogy like 2 years ago and then they're revamping it again with a new storyline. I'm like,
See, you know what I think they should have done is completely wiped Jurassic Jurassic World from that title.
right.
They could have made a standalone movie for that as like maybe in the Jurassic world, if you
Yeah.
will, and named it something else, and I feel like I would have liked it
Cuz
better.
didn't have any of the same actors
Didn't have
from
any
the
of the same
trilogy like and I was like,
actors.
"Oh,
There
like
really wasn't a lot of dinosaur action in the movie until
no."
like the very like end, and it was like this like weird alien looking dinosaur,
I
and I
know.
was
It
like,
was in it for like 2 seconds and it
and
was
like
supposed to be like the main antagonist of
it
the
was, and
movie.
then they were on like this island with the ocean and stuff. It was just like it wasn't giving Jurassic World. It wasn't giving Jurassic Park, not Jurassic. Like it just wasn't giving. And I was
Yeah.
like, when you have that expectation when you're watching a Jurassic World movie, you're expecting to have those moments that the other movies have had. I didn't get that at all with this movie. Although I really love Jonathan Bailey and I love Scarlett
They
Johansson.
killed it.
I think they carried themselves very well in that movie. Um, I just wish it wasn't associated with Jurassic.
I agree. If it was a standalone movie, it would have been better
I
maybe.
think I would have liked it more if it wasn't associated that way. Like if it was something else, like if they
Yeah.
named it something else and it wasn't associated, it probably would have been. I would have maybe in this case, I definitely voted How to Train Your Dragon over Jurassic World
Cuz that's what it
Rebirth.
went against. Jurassic World Rebirth went against How to Train Your Dragon in the first round, the live
Mhm.
action that came out, which I thought was okay. I wasn't a big fan of
Mhm.
it to be honest, but um Zootopia 2 went against Lilo and Stitch in the semifinals, and to be honest, it's another one I wasn't a big fan of.
Mhm.
I think it's these remake movies or these it's just so sad that we're living in a time
Or it's just
where
remakes.
it's literally like if you think back, I think we talked about this in our episode we did in August, but if you think back to like the 2000s, you had so many iconic franchises going on. You had Harry Potter, Shrek, Pirates of the Caribbean. There was so many going on, new original movies that were like so fun and you're waiting for the next one. Now it's full of like just like sequels and
Live
live action
actions.
remakes and I'm just like these just kind of fall a little flat. But I think Lilo and Stitch the reason why it went so far is because of the nostalgia behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
People are like, "Oh, okay, like I watched this movie as a kid," which I can't relate to that. I didn't. But I thought it was the first time I was watching it. I thought it was like okay. I just I
Like
wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of like the chaos in it. I'm just like, this is just kind of annoying. Like
so for
I
me, like I did watch it as a kid.
yeah.
Definitely nostalgic. I honestly thought the casting was pretty good in that movie. Like I didn't really have any complaints. I know a lot of people had issues about the actress that played Nani
No, I thought she was so good.
because she wasn't like
Oh
100
wait, is that the little girl or the sister?
the sister, the
I thought
older
the
sister.
sister was so good.
Yeah, I don't know. She is apparently not Pacific Islander, or she's not like 100%
Oh.
or something like that.
Okay.
So there was an issue people didn't like because of that. I thought she did really good. I mean, I feel like to me, as long as the person that is playing that role sells it and it really good and can make an emotional connection with me,
Mhm.
then I don't have any
See,
issues.
she was my favorite character from that movie.
See, like
The
yeah,
sister. I
exactly.
loved the sister. I was like relating to the sister because she was like a hard worker, like doing all these different jobs, like trying to make ends meet. And I was like, okay, like I can relate to that. Like I'm emotionally connected to her.
Yeah.
And I felt for her. That's one of the reasons why the movie was like annoying me halfway through because they kept like messing with her job. And I was like, oh my God, she's so nice. Like stop messing with her, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so,
I mean, people sometimes didn't like her, like even in the original because of how like agitated and irritated she'd get like with Lilo, but it's like you have to realize that this is her sister. She's not her mom,
And
but
now
she
that
kind
we're
of has to
adults, I think
be.
we can all relate to that because it's like
Yeah.
imagine like you're a sister taking care of a little sister and she keeps getting you fired from jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think we can all relate to that as adults. When we were watching as a kid, you can't relate to that because you're like, oh, why is she being so mean to her? But you know,
Mhm.
but yeah, so then Zootopia 2 went against Wicked for good in the
Yeah.
finals, which we already kind of talked about Wicked, I think, in a couple episodes ago. It was good. Like I am excited to watch it again when it comes on streaming, but I think we already kind of talked about this, but just to reiterate what we said in a couple episodes ago, there were just a lot of plot points that I felt like weren't properly closed and there was just too much that they had to wrap up in one movie. You know what I'm saying? I think that
I
there was just a
think
lot. I think in also when there's a two parts to a series or to a movie when they chop it up, I think that one part is always stronger than the other.
yeah, I
You
agree.
know?
I think it's hard because it's not like it was like a sequel or anything like that. It's literally finishing the story.
Mm,
And the first part of the story, part one, just Wicked itself,
mm,
was, I feel like this we both agree was the stronger part of the two parts, and the second part was just more chaotic, more a lot of things going on, like you said, a lot of things getting wrapped up and tied up, and it's just like it was a lot to follow.
And I think for me, my favorite part of this movie was well, there were a lot of things I liked about it,
Yeah, same.
but I liked Glinda's character development in this movie
I
because she
agree.
like by the end of the movie, she was completely different than who she was in the beginning, which is what we saw with Elphaba in the first part.
Right.
And so I liked that the first movie really focused on Elphaba's character development and growth, and the second part really focused on Glinda's character development and her growth.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I think it was good. Like it wasn't a bad movie by any means, but you know, like I said, going against Utopia 2, which really kept us captivated the entire time. The music in Wicked wasn't as good this time. There wasn't really any songs that I really liked at all. Like the first one, I feel like there were a lot of good ones. This one, I feel like it was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I only had two songs in there that I really liked, obviously For Good.
Yeah.
But the other one was just No Good Deed. And then like the rest of them I was kind of like meh.
Yeah.
And that really was it. Like No Good Deed I liked only because it was such a powerful scene. There
Yes.
it was almost kind of giving what do you defying gravity because
Yeah.
she's in the air again like doing her thing.
Hmm.
So I that scene like kind of stuck with me, and that's why I like that song.
Yeah.
And then For Good, there was a lot happening there. We've talked about that already,
Hmm.
but that I mean, like you asked me the other songs that were in there, and I don't remember.
So really quickly, just like talk about the face off as a whole. What
Mm,
was your hardest matchup to choose against? I feel
hardest.
like I know which one yours was. For me, looking at the brackets to be,
I think you don't know what mine is.
I think it's this one, isn't it?
Nope.
Wow. Okay, which one was it?
You're gonna laugh at me.
No, I'm
Mm,
excited.
People might be like,
I'm really
like
curious.
what the fuck? Um. Oh my god, this is so bad.
No, say it.
I had a really hard time voting against Wicked and Freakier Friday.
That's literally mine.
I wanted to vote. I think I voted Freakier Friday. I'm
Freakier
sorry.
Friday was very underrated this year.
I
I
thought that
think it
movie
was
was
so
it was
it made
so
me laugh, it made
good.
me cry, it made me feel all of the
Like
emotions,
talk
the
about
nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yes.
That's like this is a prime example of like not a remake, it was a sequel, but using the same cast, same characters, and just coming up with a really good storyline for this
Yeah.
sequel. Like checked all the freaking boxes. Like I mean comparing that to Lilo and Stitch,
Right.
easily I would have voted Freakier Friday.
Well, and it always depends on where things land in the brackets because if I think that maybe if you think of like if Freakier Friday was down in the lower end of the brackets like where Zootopia 2 was, would it have possibly gone to the semifinals? I think it was strong enough too, but it's just in
Yeah.
the second round it went against Wicked, which is a heavy hitter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that really hurt its chances of going farther than that. Because it was a really good movie. I thought that Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis did an amazing job.
It was like I almost like didn't really have too much expectation because I personally had no idea what they were gonna do.
Right.
Because if you've seen Freaky Friday, the original one, you're kind of thinking, okay, they're coming out with a sequel. They're bringing them back the original cast. What are they gonna do with this? Like
Right.
you know, and I thought her, you know, with her kid and then like her kid's friend, or right?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what it was? And like having them become like
Focal
this.
points
Oh
of
no,
the
no, it's
story.
not the kid's friend.
It's like
It's
her
her
stepsister,
stepsister.
yeah.
I was like, this is so captivating. This is so
Hmm.
because it's like it's almost it was giving like real life
It
situation.
was, yeah.
And I love just how they did everything. If you haven't seen Freakier Friday, I think it's out on streaming now.
It is, yeah. It's on Disney
Please go
Plus.
watch it, especially if you've seen the original. Even if you haven't seen the original, it's such like a feel good movie.
Hmm.
I thought it was so good. Like I honestly might watch it again like soon because I remember leaving the theater. I was like, that was so good.
So another controversial one, just like because that was a hard one for me. Another hard one for me, which I think you might be surprised with,
Mm-hmm.
is Wicked for Good against Another Simple Favor. I loved
Mm.
Another Simple Favor. I think some people, like a lot of people that I talked to, didn't personally like it, but to me, I thought it was so interesting. Yes, the addition of like the triplet threw me for a loop, and like her like getting freaky with her sister was really weird. But I thought it was very like a plot twist. And I know Blake Lively has a lot of heat on her right now. Personally, I love Blake Lively. I know, I'm sorry, don't cancel me, but
Mm.
I think she's just a great actress, and I think this movie is just so iconic. I
I
loved the first one. So
the
I almost voted that over Wicked, but then I was like, Wicked is just so iconic. I'll vote Wicked, you know?
so I did like Another Simple Favor. But yes, when that triplet part kind of came in, I was like, okay, this is kind of where I'm losing interest. I'm kind of
Yeah.
falling off because this is just like weird. You know, this isn't making too much sense. Like it's not giving like I guess you kind of want to make like a cuz that was almost kind of like a mystery type
Yeah.
of movie, like you're almost kind of like giving like Knives Out in a way.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of figuring out who's done it, what's going on, like kind of thing, and it just didn't it just didn't land with me. And I
Mm,
feel like maybe if they rewrote that part a little bit, like just a tad
right.
and changed some things, it could have been a lot better. Um but overall like leading up to that point, I thought the movie was great. I would have voted
There was a
Wicked.
lot of shock in that movie too that I thought was like a lot of twists and turns. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? You know, I personally really, really liked it, but I know that it wasn't everyone's cup of tea.
Mhm.
Another one we have to talk about, we haven't talked about yet, is K-pop Demon Hunters, which made it to the semifinals. So it was Wicked, K-pop Demon Hunters, Lilo and Stitch, and Zootopia 2. This against Wicked was very close in the voting. Wicked barely beat K-pop Demon Hunters because it's like blew up out of nowhere. Like it was just a Netflix original movie, and heard like the story behind it. They didn't like took them a while to get a production company behind the movie
Mhm.
and behind the storyline, and it just has just blown up. Like the
Yep.
music, the movie, the kids love it. The adults are watching it, and they're like, "Wait, this is so good! Like, what's going on?" It's just so surprising to me because it's something I would have never predicted
I
would have been
mean,
so popular.
I'm gonna be so honest right now. Like, if we were doing this face off during the time that K-pop Demon Hunters came out, I almost guarantee you they would have won.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee you because like even if Wicked and Zootopia had come out and it was like we'll swap. Say
Right.
Wicked and Zootopia came out around when K-pop Demon Hunters came out,
Hmm.
and then they came out when Wicked and Zootopia 2 would have totally would have changed the results. I
Right.
think for sure because that was like the number one thing in the world, like between summer and like Halloween.
Right.
I like number one, like everyone, like all the kids and their parents are being the characters from this freaking movie for
Right.
Halloween. Like there was just like so many things going on. The music hitting number one, like the music in that movie is unbelievable, like
And it
amazing.
fits. It fits the vibe. All the songs don't seem random. Like they're all like very like intentional.
Like if I had to pick out of all these movies, I really truly think that, in my opinion, is movie of the year.
Yeah.
Just because of how much of an impact it made, worldwide,
Right.
and how good it was, like the storyline and the music in it. I think just it checked all the boxes for everything.
Yeah.
So that's why for me personally, I think that was my personal movie of the year. Like
Yeah.
it just made a really good impact. I mean, it's kind of getting overplayed now. I think the kids are getting a little sick of it because they've
Yeah.
overplayed it too much, but I know a lot of them still love it.
And I had low expectations when I watched the movie, and I actually really liked it. But that's like going back to the reoccurring thing of this.
He thought it
epi-
was
of this-
crazy. He was like, I told him, I was like, watch it right now.
And I was like, what? And then I watched it and I was like, I had low expectations, which, like I said, recurring theme of this episode is expectations can impact your perception of a movie. And I really thought it exceeded expectations. I was like, wow, this was really good. And then I enjoyed the music too. So in the first round, I went against Sinners, which I know I didn't personally watch Sinners,
I've watched
but
Sinners.
I know you're like a little bit meh.
I know there's some people in here that really love Sinners. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, like, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. Like, I thought it was okay, but I didn't like love it. I wasn't like, oh my God, this movie's so good. Like, I definitely thought it was different. I thought, like, I was like, okay. Like, I liked Michael B. Jordan in it. I
Yeah.
liked Haley Steinfeld in it. I thought they were great. It's just, it definitely is different. And I think it was a little long.
It just wasn't your personal taste. But can we
Yeah.
talk about something too?
Yeah.
About haven't you seen like 15 out of the 16 of the movies in the Face Off this year? I think
I've
the only one
seen-
you haven't seen is Minecraft, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen Minecraft.
So, and I saw, I think 14. I haven't seen Sinners or a Minecraft movie. So this was the first year I think that we've seen like almost every single movie in the Face Off.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch Sinners, but I just like, I don't know, I didn't end up watching it. In a Minecraft movie, I had no desire to watch
I
that
have no-
whatsoever. But it was the number one highest grossing movie
I heard-
domestically in
I-
the United States for this year. So that's the reason why we ended up putting it in the Face Off, because
Yeah.
we're like, well, if it's the highest grossing movie domestically, we should put it in to see if people are actually watching it that are on our page.
I thought about watching it, but I'm like, I just heard like pretty much every single person I know that said they saw it, they said it was terrible.
Well, it got a lot of votes, actually, surprisingly. It didn't win because it went against Thunderbolts, which Thunderbolts went against K-pop Demon Hunters in the second round. I liked Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, I thought was like honestly, I think Thunderbolts was the best Marvel movie that came out this year.
I think so. Well, what other Marvel movie came out?
So we had Captain America, Brave New World. That was the first movie I saw in 2025.
No, wait, I'm sorry. I didn't see that one either. So I saw 13.
So that one I saw in theaters. I saw it in the Dolby Theater actually, because I think it
Crazy.
kind of came around. I think it came out around like Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
or something like that. And it wasn't the best. Like it was interesting because it was the first movie Captain America where it wasn't Steve Rogers.
Well, okay, so can we talk about that actually? Because
Yeah.
did you see the trailer?
I sure did.
Steve Rogers is coming back. So it's almost like this movie didn't even really mean anything
well,
because like Steve Rogers is coming back.
well, I can explain a little something.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you know. This is for people that maybe want to know like a little bit. But that trailer that we saw that came out for Doomsday, and you saw Steve Rogers and he's cradling the baby.
Mhm.
Okay, that's because remember when he comes back, but he's old,
Yeah.
and he like hands the torch over to this guy, this new
Mhm.
Captain America. I forget what his name is.
I forgot. Isn't he Hawkeye or no?
No, it's not
That's the other
Hawkeye. Sorry guys. We'll get named better next time. But we know who the new Captain America guy is, okay? He hands the torch over to him, right?
Mm.
So he comes back being old, but during that time he goes back to be with Agent Carter and he has a life with her. That's why
Okay.
there's a baby. And that's why the whole like the time situation and everything that's happening is because of what happened
See,
while
this
he's
whole
back.
multiverse and this time travel thing that they're doing in DC and Marvel right now, I'm like, this just goes like, it's a little too much for me to follow. I'm like, okay, this is just like, are you old? Are you young? But I'm excited for that one. But
It's
we'll
kind of
get more
like
into that. Like,
it's kind of like a weird loophole that happened that we don't know about yet.
yeah. And so
And
I
it's
guess we'll
like,
find out more when the movie comes out.
but just letting you know that is, I think that's the main reason why he's coming back is because something happened, and that's why Doctor Doom is here.
Well, and I also think that they know that this movie flopped, so they're like, we got to bring, we got to bring Chris Evans back.
Well,
So, like,
I think it's part of the story though.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, he's returning.
So another movie that I feel like is underrated that was eliminated in the first round that I know me and you really liked was Back in Action with Cameron
Yes,
Diaz.
I did like that movie.
I love that movie, and I think that people just didn't see it. It came out in January.
It was weird
of this year, so it was like
It was a while
people probably
ago.
forgot about it. But I love Cameron Diaz. And when I was like, oh my god, and it was watched it and I was like, oh, I love Cameron Diaz. Let me watch this. So freaking good. If you haven't seen that, watch it on Netflix. It's so good.
I was like, her and Jamie Foxx,
Yes.
like they actually had like weirdly really good chemistry.
They
and
did.
I think it helped the movie like do really well. Obviously, they're both really great actors,
Yeah.
but it was cool to see those two come together because they're like a married couple. It's kind of
Right.
they're giving like Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibes.
Yes.
And they have kids and stuff, and they like have been out of the action for a long time, and then they have to go back in and do their thing. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, that's actually a really good one if you're into that type of vibe, and it's on Netflix.
But
so.
it went against Fantastic Four, which was heavily marketed. Personally, wasn't a fan, but I want to talk about Superman really quick because we haven't talked about Superman yet.
Yeah.
Superman and Lilo and Stitch tied in the first round. So they both went on to the second round, and you have a little three-way with Fantastic Four, which Lilo and Stitch ended up winning by 1 vote. Superman and Lilo and Stitch tied again so much. And
Superman was really
it
good.
finally went, Lilo and Stitch finally beat it by 1 vote. But Superman was so good. I thought Superman was
good.
really good, and I didn't have really high expectations for it. But I really feel like it set the tone for this new DC universe that they're in chapter 1 of this DC universe, Gods and Monsters. That's what it's
Okay.
called. So they're just resetting the whole DC universe right now. And I thought it was so good.
I thought he did a really good job playing Superman, but I also really liked the girl that played Lois. I thought
she's so good.
I thought she was good. I was like, oh my god, she's kind of like a little rough.
But
like,
this is more like Lois, true to the comics of Lois Lane.
exactly.
As opposed to, I love Amy Adams, but Amy
Yeah.
Adams as Lois Lane, I was like, she's too like sweet. Lois
she's a
Lane
little
is
soft.
she's a reporter. She wants the story. She wants to get it.
Mhm.
And then Supergirl comes out next year.
Right.
So
yeah.
there's just a lot of heavy hitters coming out next year. And so let's get into that because we're actually running out of time here. So let's get into next year. A little predictions, so looking ahead into the future.
Mhm.
There's so many good movies coming out. There's the Odyssey, Mortal Kombat 2, Clayface, which is like I said, which is a horror movie, which is crazy. What else? Supergirl, Devil Wears Prada 2,
Mhm.
Avengers, Doomsday, Spider-Man, the new
Brand new
Spider-Man.
day. Yeah, I'm excited
Dude.
for the new Spider-Man, and I am excited for Doomsday. Call me a Marvel girl.
Mhm.
I don't know. I also like DC, but like I'm just really excited to see like what freaking happens because Brand
Yes.
New Day comes out, I believe, in July.
Summer, yep.
So that's the Spider-Man 4, but it's called Brand New Day. That one's coming out in July, so summertime. And then Doomsday comes out in December.
Which we're gonna have to do our face-off like in January next year.
That's gonna be
Because we're
crazy.
gonna have to
Yeah.
we're gonna have time we're gonna have to, it's the same thing we did with Spider-Man No Way Home.
We should just
It
do it
came
in
out
January because like
to give it a little time to breathe in between the
Yeah.
artists of the year, because I do feel like it's a lot back to back. So maybe we should give it a little time to
and
breathe.
it's personally hard for us to see the movies that come out right at the end of the year.
Because
Like
Avatar.
Fire and
Yeah.
Ash. I haven't heard anything about it yet. But I know there's so many people I have come into contact with, like friends, coworkers, everything, who have said they're so excited for this movie. They're looking forward to this movie. And I'm like, really?
I
Like
know, and
Avatar, like, but there's so many people that are like, oh my God, I can't wait to see it. So, I mean, there's a lot of hype around this movie that I feel like that we're not aware of because
maybe
we're,
next year we do this face off in like mid-January.
yeah, I
Or
think
like
so.
early January, like mid-January, because I feel like we need to give it time to breathe because like there are big movies come out in the end of the year, like Avatar, that don't make it into our face off because we do it in December. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe next year we do our artist of the year in early December like we usually do, and then our movie of the year in like um early January, like a
Yeah,
month after.
I
So it's not
agree.
like a month long thing. It's more of like broken up into pieces.
Right. I
Not
know
as
it's
brainstorming on the
exciting. I'm
podcast.
like, I know it's exciting to like do this in December, like with Christmas and everything coming up. But I think there's just like a lot of heavy hitters that come out at the end of the year, like between like middle of November to like end of December. Like two of the movies that came out during that time frame were the finalists, and then one
Yeah.
of them won. So I mean, like Avatar Fire and Ash could have very well been maybe in this final.
Yeah.
But we just don't know because we haven't seen it yet because
Yeah,
it
so we're gonna
literally
do that
just
next
came
year.
out.
We're gonna like change the way we do things with this next year because I'm excited. But what do you think out of all those great movies that are coming out? What do you think is gonna win movie of the year next year?
Jeez,
I feel well. I'll let you answer first because I've been thinking and I already know my answer.
so out of all these movies, I feel like the most highly anticipated movie for 2025 is Avengers Doomsday.
2026.
Yeah, or yeah, 2026. See,
Avengers
we're
Doomsday. That's what I'm thinking is gonna win movie of the year for next year. I really think it is.
I think it is. And Avengers, like the last Avengers hasn't come out for a while.
Yeah.
So it's like
The theaters are gonna be packed, but also you have to take into account Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, there's just like there's I think it's definitely between
And there's a
those two.
lot of movies that I only named, I think, like 7. There's a lot more. I know there's like at least like 15 that are like really big that we watched that TikTok of like most anticipated movies.
Yeah.
I know I missed like so many big ones too that you're probably like, oh, you forgot to say this one. And I'm like, I know.
But
They're
we're-
big ones.
But going off of like even Devil Wears Prada 2, like
Oh
that,
my God, I'm so excited for that.
that's
I
again
love-
giving a nostalgia. We're coming out with a sequel. Hopefully
Right.
it's just like Freakier Friday and it hits us where it it makes us feel
And
warm
the
inside.
Odyssey is like one of the most anticipated movies because of the trailer already has so many views. Like one of the most hot like viewed trailers in like movie history. I think I saw something about that. I'm so excited for the Odyssey,
Yeah.
which comes out in summer also. So we're gonna be at the theater like once a week in the summer again.
And I also like this is something that we can talk about, but since we're brainstorming on the podcast,
Let's brainstorm
right
on
now,
the podcast just a little bit.
maybe let us know. Do you think we should maybe watch trailers for this movie and you guys see our reactions to the trailers? Like, even with maybe some new music or reacting to like new songs that come out. Because we also have our TikTok, we also have our Instagram Reels. So we've been
Yeah.
trying to make a little bit more of those short form videos for you guys. But it's been harder for us to come up with ideas of things to do. I think that would be a great thing for us to
I
do
think
because
so.
I think we would be like excited, like watching like whatever we're watching, like if we watch it on our phone or we watch it on the TV or something,
Mhm.
and people see our reactions to things like any of these, like could have watched like any of these trailers, like
Yeah.
we'll watch them together and be like, oh my God, like what the hell is going on?
And I think I'm gonna try. I know it was my goal this year. I didn't accomplish it, but I think I'm gonna try and watch every single movie
that was
that
on
ends
here.
up being in our face up. But I think
Oh.
it's because of for 2026, all 16. I think it's because of it's just like such a busy time
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't have a chance to watch the last 3. But I think I'm gonna make it a point, especially since there's so many big movies coming out, to watch every single movie that makes it in the face off.
Right.
I was at 13 this year. I think that's the highest I've ever been.
The only
but-
reason why I saw most of these movies is because we became AMC sub members.
50% off Wednesdays and
So,
Tuesdays if you haven't done it yet.
We got some deals there.
got the deals.
So if you're someone that loves watching movies, you should sign up for AMC sub members. You can even sign up for the free trial, which is the one that we have at the moment, which is you get 50% off of your tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And now that's AMC. You can go ahead and sponsor us now because we just
AMC,
give you free.
That was not an ad. It wasn't an ad.
I wish it was an ad. Come on.
We just love AMC so much. So
Yeah. And we love going to the movies.
You
It's
know.
just such a great like experience to watch in theaters. But thank you guys so much for voting. If you voted in this, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching, and congratulations to Zootopia 2. And I'm so excited to see these movies that are coming out in 2026.